All right, thanks for staying with us. Brain drain, right? We're discussing a very important issue that is becoming a matter of great concern in Nigeria. The issue of brain drain, a slang term that indicates a substantial immigration or migration of individuals. A brain drain can result from turmoil within a nation, the existence of favorable professional opportunities in other countries, or a desire to seek a higher standard of living. In addition to occurring geographically, brain drain may also occur at the organizational or industrial levels when workers perceive better pay, benefits, or upward mobility within another company or industry, especially when these companies are abroad. Now, we discussed the Jackpot syndrome earlier in the week, as I'd mentioned, in regards to our doctors and the negative impact on the health space. Nigerians are intelligent and innovative people and need a conducive environment to thrive. So what impact do you think this brain drain is having in the fintech space, right? Or the tech space in general? Now, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-4663. You can also tweet at us at WayShowAfrica1 with hashtag WayShow. You know what? While I was just going through this conversation, even within companies, you keep on hearing this person say, I don't resign. Where you don't port, because everybody may be. So, I asked this question on Wednesday, and I want to bring in our guest like in a minute. Do you think this is 100% tied to income? Like, I just need a bigger pay. Is this tied to it? No. Or there's much more to it?
No, there's a lot more to it. It could stem from anywhere. The dissatisfaction from the way the company is run, the way you're seen within the company, how you're perceived, your work experience, like within the organization, how they treat you.
It's a toxic environment.
Yeah, so there are different things. It could also be pay, and it could also just be you wanting a better life. Yeah.
Do you agree
For
with
me,
that?
oh yes, I agree. It's not just about the pay. I mean, a lot of people, of course, that's one of the major reasons. But with the situation in Nigeria too, security. A lot of people in different locations are not secure. Even the devaluation of the naira. So you earn, imagine that you are earning 2 million, for example, and the worth of 2 million 2 or 3 years ago is not what it is today. You can't even, so you can imagine those who are earning below 500, this and that. It doesn't make sense anymore. So a lot of people are looking for, like MJ said, a better life. And basically worth, a sense of self-worth. They have certain skill sets that is not being appreciated or is underutilized here as well. And they know that there are opportunities out there for them to not just maximize their skills, but also to gain some level of value for what they have to offer.
Absolutely. So Jeffrey has over 18 years of sales and business management experience in 6 industries, 11 years of that in fintech. His work experience covers both local and international, multinational brand like NCR in Atlanta, InterSwitch and Number. He is an expert in sales optimization, business and market development with a focus on achieving exceptional results in a highly competitive business environment that demands continuous improvement and volume profit focused results. Now, he's an alumnus of Lagos and Columbia Business School. He is trained in Maillon Hayman and value selling methodology. He is a safe, agile, and EI practitioner, currently a mentor in the Google Africa Startup Accelerator Program and the MEST in Ghana. He's joined us live in studio. Let me just add, he's also a friend of the house. Hi, we are happy to have a friend of the house.
In the house.
But thank you so much, Jeffrey, for joining us tonight.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. So, you know what? This is an interesting conversation. So, I saw a report online that talked about banks, how there was massive resignation in banking because a lot of the engineers, especially with this move of digitizing banks and all of that, a lot of the engineers are just resigning. So I was now wondering what exactly is going on. So I know that yes, we've suffered a lot of brain drain when it comes to the medical field. But as it stands today, maybe globalization has also opened the eyes of a lot of people to realize that, I can actually, this same skill that I have here can earn me X, Y, Z there. But like NJ rightly said, there's a lot of factors that would propel a brain drain, you know, especially with tech, because tech is one field I feel like you really do not need to migrate. You can actually be anywhere and earn from anywhere in the world, because that is how good tech, what's it called? The tech workspace looks like. But if you were to assess what is happening with the tech space and brain drain, what would be your assessment?
So I think Nigerians are just getting to understand what has always existed. China had gone through this. India has gone through this. Africa is now going through it. But we're making a lot of noise, but it's actually an international norm for people to move from one country to another to work. So it's not any different from any part of the world and what people are doing. But the alarming rate is what people are flagging to say the tremendous exponential increase as to how these numbers are just doubling and doubling, and people willingly just volunteering themselves to be taken out of the country. And an interesting perspective is what you both have said, which is there's more to it than just the money. So somebody said something on Twitter today, is that there were 40 interviews, half of them were Nigerians for an international job in the UK.
Wow.
But he noticed something. Out of the 40 people, 20 Nigerians, only about 2 of them could really successfully take the interview. Why? Because the others, the network was bad.
Below the belt.
So can I take a job in Nigeria and run an IT successfully? Maybe not. How many hours of light do people have? How strong is the internet to really deliver on the work? When you work from home, your community also contribute because they can hear the chicken and the goats at the back.
Very true.
Have you ever been on a call? There's this annoying chicken that's always every particular time, and I've got this colleague of mine. Every time she's on a call, there's always like, where is this chicken? All right. But I mean, among the humor is also the fact that there are infrastructure problems. There are circumstantial problems that are beyond your control, why you cannot take the job while you're here. But fundamentally is also the fact that if you earn, say, 3 million here in Nigeria, the capacity of what 3 million can do is not that bad, right? But if I flip that same earning and I put you, say, in the UK or Canada, and I gave you the same amount, you see, the value of money in those countries is what makes it attractive. If I earn, say, £6,000 or $10,000 a month, what I can do with that money in that part of the world is significant. But here, there is a lot that takes that money away. If I had constant light, I wouldn't spend so much money on power, right? If the road was so good, I wouldn't spend so much money on car maintenance.
Your car.
If transport was fantastic, I don't need a car, right? If I can get a decent rent in a good neighborhood that is safe, I don't need to worry so much about earning so much money. So there's a lot more to what comes into your salary in the context of the country that you're in, not even about the money that you earn, than that. So one of the facts that you also need to know, for me, I've had the opportunity to travel a bit to some of these countries and I have friends there. They don't earn so much. The principle of they earn more is because of the devaluation of Naira. If the Naira was 100 Naira to $1, then you can match anybody anywhere in the world, right? Because we're going to have the same lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Now, you could live in a 5-bedroom flat or a duplex in Nigeria and you live a good life. But if you go and travel and see where those people are living, you'll be wondering if they were living here like that in Nigeria. They'll say, thank you. They'll say, why are you living in a 1-bedroom with 5 of you or a 2-bedroom with 6 of you?
But that rent is actually going to rent that duplex that you're having here.
So the point is there's a way of life there that people don't, it's not about how much you have, and there's so many
show. There's quality of life.
Thank you. There's so many show of display here with a little few. And so everybody's earning money, not because they well, they want a better life, but they want a better life because they want to show, say, I don't learn, you know. But there, you earn a decent amount of money. You wear T-shirts, you wear your sneakers, and nobody's bothered. Most of these people that drive big cars here, they get there and they're using the local transport system. They don't have the same kind of cars. So it's a culture shift that we need to do beyond just people moving. It's also that thing where what you earn can be sufficient if the overall infrastructure and the experience of living is also adjusted.
So let's now tie it back to the impact. How do you see this movement? Because what you said is not really that people are migration or whatever is not new. It is the alarming rate as to the thing is churning out.
Yes.
Like within these 2 weekends now, somebody will still break my heart very soon. You call this one, I don't jackpa. You call this one, I have relocated. I mean, I've had several people, and I have somebody that will soon break my heart. If I was just thinking to myself that, hey, this particular person is useful to me every birthday that I have. Hey, but hey, we survive. It's our birthday, sir. We are both Novembers, right? But hey, so how do we see this impacting the tech space? Because now you go on most of our banking apps, you're seeing a lot of downtime, so many things happening. And do you think that, you know, these big banks, you know, that are complaining about brain drain and all of that, can you even prefer a solution to say, okay, how do we trap this resource that we have so that they don't have to leave the country? Is it possible?
Unfortunately, that journey should have been a decade ago. We did not invest in building the capacity of people in tech, unfortunately. The accelerator program, the hubs that we have, the technology hubs, they are trying, but not enough. How many corporate do you know is fronting the actual development of the tech manpower space? How many? You don't find, but you have a lot of catering, you know, a lot of artisan, there's a lot of craft training that you know, but for tech, we used to know one very big company way back, but after that, I don't think I know any other big names in the market anymore. So we are 10 years behind on that. However, we're where we are today. And the impact that is having for us in this industry is that innovation is being stifled because the real talents are the ones that are leaving, right? There are still people, we still have people in Nigeria that can do all this work, but the people that can really create that exponential, innovative impact in the market, they're the one being attracted out of the country. You also find that it also affects service, like you have mentioned as well. And beyond that, there's not a lot of succession and mentoring and coaching plan within the industry. Everybody just wants to be a superstar, but nobody's building for the future. The company I used to work for before had such a program, and it was really successful for 5 years. Even if a senior person leaves, there's always someone to take over. And I think instead of trying to cry over spilt milk, if we all start now, in the next 5 years, we might just be comfortable. We would get this impact now. We would definitely be impacted. But there will be some adjustments to the industry if we start working on that now. So are you telling me that in 20 million people, if you have maybe 50 million able to work, that, if you count the number of people who have left, maybe 1 million, it doesn't even scratch.
From 200 million, right?
Yeah, it doesn't even scratch the surface. The problem is that the growth of knowledge, the saturation of knowledge,
transfer of knowledge,
yes, within the industry is not very strong. And that's what we need to work on. We need to enable.
All right, let's quickly go on a break. So I'm sure the ladies have questions for you. Stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, so thanks for staying with us. We still have Jeffrey discussing brain drain and the impact in the tech space. And Jeffrey Williams is already giving us some nuggets. Now, remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp 081-803-84663. You can also tweet at us at PlusTvAfrica with the hashtag WayShow. So over to you, ladies.
Okay, so Jeffrey, thank you. You've really opened my eyes to a couple of things. It's not how long, but how well that we have. And in this regard, we have not done very well in especially mentorship. That's what caught my attention, because I think in the same write-up article that you read, I also saw where top executives were also leaving, but there was nobody to take up their positions. And it is due to this problem too that we don't have mentorship programs that enable people to be able to step into positions where others have left them. So you, as a fintech business growth expert, what's the advice that you're going to give? I mean, I'm sure you work with companies in this regard. What advice would you give companies that are struggling in this regard with fintech? Because the fintech space is a very key. We didn't know until now how key it is. The digital developers, the software developers, and all of that. There's a lot of technicality that goes with it that not normal, but ordinary human beings will not be familiar with. So what advice would you give companies that are struggling, banks? Almost every aspect of work is affected, really. So what advice would you give them as an expert?
Well, a lot of people have spoken about automation, so I'll add that to the list as well. So if you don't have people, let's start working on how to automate some of these processes.
But there's a human angle to it.
Yeah, but you won't need as much people as that. Second, if people outside Nigeria are comfortable with you being in Nigeria and working for them, could we also consider building a process or a system that allows people to still go to anywhere they want to go to, but still continue to work for the company? Is that possible? The problem is that we have built solutions using an external provider in a local context. So
it doesn't fit.
It doesn't fit. Thank you. So what we need to start doing is to build solutions for local uses, for local content, for local application. So that way it is easier for us to understand how that dynamics would work. Okay. Then the third part as well is it doesn't have to be people within the industry that you are working with. You could find people outside. I mean, if people are coming to Nigeria to take people, okay, yourself, go
and bring them.
Go people and bring in as well. But again, there's all this semantics around how much money would cost, the cultural dynamics and all of that. But the people who are taking Nigerians also are not worried about that. They want skill. Sometimes the sentiments that we also have here around who, from where, how am I sure, the master-slave mentality as well does not allow people to really open up the opportunity for more people to play in those fields. Yes.
Well, for me, he has answered all the questions. But I wouldn't want to say too much. I'm actually find myself in the tech space, so I do understand exactly what you're saying in terms of everything that goes in within, an organization and even within the industry. So yes, there's a lot that, a lot of tech organizations and
can do.
Tech companies and owners, employers of labor need to sit down and look into. So there's a need for them to be a bit more open-minded, because for me, I see tech as the future. So you can't be a solution provider if you cannot provide a solution for yourself.
As you're talking, I just thought about something. Would it be out of place to structure people's salary in such a way that they can also earn in the currency that makes it valuable for them?
Trust me, you're not lying. There's a lot that needs to be looked. There's a lot that we can actually do within the tech space. I feel like what restricts us is our ability not to open our minds to the possibilities and opportunities that have already been out there. Tech is. And that's the reason why I was drawn to it, and that's the reason why I love it, because it helps you to look beyond what you can see. You're looking at the table, but someone else is looking at something totally different. It's thinking of how this table can actually be used, and the space can actually be used. So they make a folded table. So when you're not using it, you fold it up, and it turns into something else. That's what tech does. And tech is not just, computer, banking. It's in everything we do today. Tech is the infusion of technology into everything we do today is what has made life easier.
You know what? This is conversation I had earlier this week, and I was saying to people, if you're a big tech company, open an academy. let it be part of the institutional part of our industry, that there would always be some academy attached to big IT firms where you breathe and contribute to the growth of that manpower in the industry. The second one is also to look at the universities and our high schools. It needs to be part. It needs
because
to be.
I was going to come to the part of the government as
yes,
well.
I know. So it needs to be part of the institution.
No, I'm coming there.
Yeah, so it needs to be part of the institution. So you go into a university, there is actually programs that builds that kind of skill set, not only agric and geography and politics, but also a big tech part of
you know, so he's not referring to government.
No, I know he wasn't referring, but now I want to bring in
yeah, please bring in government.
Yeah, because I was going to ask that what can the government do differently? Because part of the reason why people are also leaving is because of the lack of governance in Nigeria. In your position, if you had that opportunity, what would you say to our government to make things a little bit? Some people, if you ask them, they would not have any business traveling out of Nigeria.
True,
that's the truth.
Very true. And they earn very good amounts of money here. They don't mind.
Yes, I hear on the radio several times, some people say, I would never have imagined myself outside the country.
Sure.
But with the way things are now, I have to think of second, third options. So what would you advise?
You see, when you say government, it's very broad. So let's break it down. So there is the part that the government has to do around the way people live in Nigeria, right? There is a part of the government that has to do with how people are educated in Nigeria. So I've said living, I've said education. There is a way, there's a part that government has to play around how people earn money in Nigeria. So this applies to different sides of the government. So let's go to the first about living. If you improve the infrastructure, if you improve the social amenities, if you improve the health, the education, the road, the parks, the things that we love to see out there, and it's here. I mean, I don't know which neighborhood you can actually take a walk anywhere in Lagos, but these are things that people enjoy when they go there. They're like, you know what are you doing? Let's take a walk. And you can take a walk for hours and you're comfortable and you're safe. But here, oh my God, let's not even go there. Anyway, I just deviated, sorry. So now we talked about education. We just mentioned that part as well. So institute things that make school enjoyable, fun, innovative. You go into the tech campuses, you'll be like, wow, look at what you guys are doing here. And then you put money behind the innovations that people are doing. Why do tech hubs have to be outside the learning institution? Why? Why are they not within the learning institutions? So imagine if you've got 36 universities, I'm sure there are hundreds, but just 37 federal universities offering core, very innovative, well thought out syllabus. Is that what it's called? Yes. Curriculum. Yes. for what this is for the tech industry. And then we now go into the money earning. I mean, if you are in tech, people are telling you that you can go from $3 million to $10,000. If you multiply $10,000
by the current value of Naira.
So what's happening is that you and I are earning $3 million in Nigeria, then you go to the abroad, and then you go and earn maybe $10,000. Now, if tomorrow dollar is now 1,200 to a dollar, then you're talking to me and you're telling me how your life and my life are not the same, because now you are now half what I'm earning because you are earning that money in Nigeria.
In Nigeria, okay.
Now, here is something that was interesting. So I was on a call with one of my friends who has traveled to the US for a very, very long time. And he says, you know what, Jeffrey, if things are great in Nigeria and with this remote work, a lot of people would actually prefer to work from Nigeria and earn dollars in America.
Absolutely.
Sure. And that a lot of people who are able to do that are now finding very safe estates around Ikoyi, in Lekki, in another part of the country, to stay. So they earn this money, but again, you now get these policies that says you can bring money in, or you can take the money out, and then everything just goes back to ground zero again.
Yeah.
So you asked about how governments can help. This is 3 key ways. Just to summarize that would be, look at the way of living, look at the institution for educating our people, and also look at ways in which you can make people earn in here and be able to access their funds, or keep people here and find ways in which they can also earn in this currency in such a way that it is legit and they don't have to hide and earn this money.
Absolutely.
So I saw a video from the World Economic Forum on Finland. Everybody needs to watch that video on the new innovations that's happening in their educational space, where they're creating, they're designing the perfect school where there are no walls, open floor plan. I'll send you the video after the show. I mean, so when you're talking education, it's actually a very core part of it. Currently, I work for an organization that is a distribution chain, like they're providing distribution solutions for FMCGs, right? I am a product manager there. And I can tell you for free that as it is today, we have an agile work environment. You're an agile expert, right? That agile work environment allows my colleagues and I to do everything online. We are in, yeah, today, network messed me up, but hey.
Not part of them.
because I was on the road. I was not stationed somewhere. So in between journey, there's a particular location to another location. That entire stretch, no network, you know. Now I know all the spots where there are no networks when I'm driving home. But hey, that's an aside. So because it's an agile work environment, I have colleagues in the UK, I have colleagues in Canada, you know, different parts of the world, and we're working, we're doing the job, right? So, I mean, that part where you talked about companies trying to be a lot more innovative with their structure of learning, maybe that is the only way we can find this, because as it stands now, my direct boss, you know, had a bit of issue because I'm actually starting off as an intern. But they've converted me from, you know, but even though I'm just new in the field, but hey, he's in the space of, in a very short time, he's had to he's had a very high turnover for product managers. They don't want to stay. The last one that just left, she was barely there for 3 months and she resigned. So there's a huge gap when it comes to what's it called, the expertise for the work. And again, because fintech guys is almost like, I don't know how to explain it's like saloon people. You know this stylists in the salon. Like you just go like 1 minute and this salon offers them 200 naira extra. They're off. Yeah. Do you understand? So what other perks can big organizations start to add to, like packages for fintech experts or tech experts? Generally, what perks do you think they should start to infuse, you know, just to at least have some level of stay, you know, that I can still stay there? Should they give them that flexibility to run 3 jobs? You know, because I know someone that actually had 2 jobs, and one was abroad, one was here in Nigeria. When they were pressuring him, he resigned from the one in Nigeria. I said because the stress was too much. He was earning something a lot more higher there, but he wanted to juggle both jobs, and they were just stressing him too much. So are there kind of like restructuring that can happen so that you at least have the good hands? Like you rightly said, some people have right now, their whatever is in China, you know, they just send what they need to do. And, you know, that's why an agile work environment, you know, is booming now, because a lot of people can just work anywhere. So what do you think organizations can begin to think about adding as perks to...
Is this to keep people in Nigeria?
You can't keep people in Nigeria.
All right. Sorry. I think that laugh has answered
No, you can't. So all this long question,
wait. I'll get there. So again,
that is disheartening.
I mean, it is better to be honest than to just sugarcoat the situation. Everybody likes the experience of living outside Nigeria. That's why we always strive to put money together to travel, right? There's a different environment, there's a different feel to it. You know, if we could travel that kind of way within the country, maybe people don't really need to travel out a lot because it's safer to go to any of these beautiful places that we have in Africa. But instead, people just want to go out of Africa to visit. And there's a reason for that. There's security, there is amenities, there's structure around your safety. Now, what can you do to keep people here for the meantime? So 2 things. The first is well, maybe three. So the first is, as you were talking, I was thinking to myself, how do I want to put this to you? If you give me all the money in the world, sometimes I'll take less money just to be out. There's a group of people like that. It's not the money. It's just the opportunity. So it doesn't matter what the perks are. Say if I just video call you and snow day for the back of my window, it comes with certain kind of feelings and class, and I don't know. It's the way the Africans think when you're out of the country. Unfortunately, it's going to last for a while. Now, there is also a class of people that says, you know what, I've gotten this offer, but I don't really want to go. But I want you to match that offer in certain ways, right? And maybe those group of people, you can then consider that. And that's when I talked about the dual currency income. If that can work, a lot of people will say, you know what, you're going to pay me $2,000. I can take that and save. The other one is in Naira.
Yeah.
People will say, man, I'm already earning, so why do I want to pack my things and pay £20,000 or £50,000 to doing that to go? Now, again, that takes a lot of effort and an industry intervention for that to happen, because there are certain rules that governs what we can earn and what currency we can earn, and the taxations that come with that as well. Now, the third part is there are other benefits. People don't want to dress like they are sufferheads. You're telling me to wear a suit
In heat.
in the heat, and I don't talk to anybody. I am at the back office with my red tie morning to night, and when I'm done...
No, but I think banks...
Those things have changed.
I'll give them some credit.
Wait now, I'll get there, I'm building up to this. That's how it gets interesting. So when I now go and eat my ogbono and eba, I'll flip the tie like this. Right? So the point is, people want to be more relaxed at workplaces. We still have the cultural thing that you must wear an agbada in every setting if it is important people or important things you need to do. So there might just be a bit of adjustment to that, where people can be more comfortable at work, right? The second part is people don't want to be on the road. So if you can offer hybrid...
Remote work.
Well, not maybe. Remote also has its own setback. At some time, we'll come and discuss that, because I'm not a big fan of it, personally, because I've seen things go wrong for an extended time. People are being hired. You can't find, you don't know your colleagues. The chemistry that makes work interesting is not there, because everybody's scattered around the whole place and they never, ever meet each other. So there's some setbacks to that. But I mean, hybrid would be great. Maybe 3 days at home and 2 days.
Yeah.
Then there's the third one, where people just want to work in a place that is fun and exciting and colorful. It's not just blue and white and green and yellow, but it's echo. There's a theme to your office. The place is clean and there's lights, and it's not like one bulb in the whole building. And you know, you just want to... No. I didn't work in any of the places like that. But the point is, people just want a more refreshing experience at work, you know, where you can introduce a lot more things in there. Now, a lot of adjustment has happened in the industry, no doubt. I mean, you go to places, you see bicycles hanging on the wall. It's not just that, but the point is, a lot of adjustment has happened in the workplace.
And, you know, they do like something Fridays, you know, TGIF.
But it's also the culture that you and I are colleagues. There's no master slave. We can talk freely. That we can.
I can air my ideas.
Yes, and then we can build. And then there is also the emotional intelligence part of it as well. That is not really a big part of our African culture, where you can see an older person still behaving in a very funny way, but you still say it's the best thing since sliced bread because of culture. So there needs to be a heavy part of investment in emotional intelligence, from leadership to even teammates, where we can talk to each other, and I would look forward to being at work. You know, and that part would then make people feel that, you know what, I want to leave, but I do enjoy working here. And maybe for that reason, a few of us might just remain.
Absolutely.
And we can still have people on this show.
All right, so because we will soon jackpot too, we'll be doing race from the abroad. You know, so the tech law coming, it says tech law coming soon to Nigeria, and this will enhance the tech space. Are you aware of that, and you know, do you agree with that? What are the tech laws? We don't even know.
Yeah, well, is this from any official government website or somebody tweeted?
No, somebody just sent a message that there's a tech law coming to Nigeria, and this would enhance. You didn't put your name, so.
So if you want to enhance, what are you really enhancing? So if there's context to it, then we can then discuss.
I don't
know
what
are you enhancing, so that we can discuss that.
All right, so I have this comment from Bobby Kennedy in Jalingo, and he says, great topic you have tonight. Well done to all of you. It's all about being creative to get it done with our local content. And he says Nigeria is just a country that does not listen to great people like what you have in the studio. Thank you. So somebody's giving credit.
Okay, thank you.
So if you had one final thing to say, because we have run out of time, like joke, what would you say, what would you say, and who would you direct that to?
So there are two advices. The first one would be to people who are planning to relocate. Do not do that because of peer pressure. It's not greener on the other side. You see, Africa gives you the opportunity to blow. You can't blow in those places. Everything is structured and wealth is properly distributed. So you need to know what works for you. And if you are going to consider that, be very informed. I've seen a lot of people who have left senior roles to start junior roles in other parts of the world, and it didn't work out well, and they end up being Uber drivers. I have experiences of colleagues and friends. Now, there are people who are willing to stay, and if you're willing to stay, then stay with your chest, which is, don't be around people who are constantly talking about this, because it will weigh you down. It will definitely weigh you down, And have a conversation with HR to say, I do have the opportunity to go, but I want to stay. So consider how do we make it work? Consider certain things that I would like, and if the HR policy allows people to come forward and have conversations like that, then there will be a lot of ideas around what can we do to keep you, and then that can then become institutionalized within the organization. And then finally, for the tech industry, we need to start investing in the future. Unfortunately, we didn't plan well for this, but it has happened. But I like that it happened. You know why? Because we've never seen so much knowledge filtering into Africa. Everybody wants to get certified. You have product managers, program managers, Scrum people, project people, developers, young people say, parents saying, you know what, summertime, come and do coding. There is so much wealth of knowledge flowing through Nigeria. I mean, in such a phenomenal way that sadly we're not keeping them, but if we could keep that wealth of knowledge breathing through everywhere, that would be amazing. So now, exactly, so our profile is so rich that people are saying, guy, come. Before it was just BSc and then the apprentice of the work. But now people are conscious, what certifications can I do? I mean, you have holiday, would you like to go do something? So that's the good part of it. And the second part of it is that it has also encouraged better salary structure. Now people want to pay more. Before they were doing shakara. Now the market has turned to the buyer's market. So the laborers are the ones saying, you want me?
Pay more.
Pay more.
On that note, thank you for watching. Follow us on Instagram at PlusTvAfrica. Interact with us further, drop a comment, and more importantly, follow all our engagements on social media, like, share, and invite your families and friends to watch and follow. Thank you so much, Jeffrey, again. Now, if you missed today's quote, here it is again. It's creating a brain drain. We could end up with a society without knowledge. How can such a society make progress? It's not possible. So let us try to keep our brain within the country. We'll see you guys on Monday at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy.